If I could speak freely, I'd ask you why you've never shown up to an Allies luncheon. If I could speak freely, I'd tell you how every day I receive disapproving stares from ignorant eyes. And it's not that they hate me, they just don't understand. So if I could speak freely, I'd ask you why you've decided not to teach them. If I could speak freely, I'd ask you to look me straight in the eye and tell me what to educate individuals to think and act as ethical leaders and responsible citizens in the global community means to you. And if I could speak freely, I'd tell you what it means to me. If I could speak freely, I'd ask you what you mean when you state that our core values include personal freedom and integrity, the dignity and respect of the individual, and a heritage of inclusiveness, tolerance, and service. If I could speak freely, I'd explain that I was asked to grow out my hair because I represent the university. And then I'd ask you, why doesn't the university represent me? If I could speak freely, I'd tell you that I want to live in a residence hall that has gender-blind housing. And then I'd ask you, why does that have to be such a big deal? If I could speak freely, I list the organizations represented by our Department of Inclusiveness and Intercultural Services: the NAACP, the Muslim Student Association, the Black Student Association, LULAC, the International Student Association, the Asian Student Association, the African Heritage Organization. And then I'd ask you why I'm not representing them. If I could speak freely, I'd explain to you that when the Department of Inclusiveness and Intercultural Services were asked to sponsor the Gay Straight Alliance, they refused. If I could speak freely, I'd ask you why my definition of a safe place has suffered from 3 hate crimes in the past 18 months. And then I'd ask you, why can't I have a safe space here? If I could speak freely, I'd ask you why employees, when they go through orientation, are taken through the process for applying for spouse benefits, and then told, if you need domestic partner benefits, please come see me afterwards. So if I could speak freely, I'd explain to you that I'm out, but that doesn't mean that I have to out myself to you. If I could speak freely, I ask you why gay advocacy networks celebrated President Obama's choice of an openly gay administrator by the name of Bradley J. Kiley as his choice of Director of the Office of Management and Administration. But when you wrote a story celebrating his status as an alumni, he left his sexual orientation out. If I could speak freely, I'd tell you that it matters to me. If I could speak freely, I'd admit that I need help too, and that maybe I was mistaken thinking that it'd come from